The theme of mortals being transformed into animals and other hideous monsters as a form of punishment is one that we can see all through Greek mythology, and today we take a look at the story of Arachne, the woman cursed by the gods to spend eternity as a spider because she was brave enough to challenge them and emerge victorious. Over the years there have been many versions of Arachne's story, and even to this day she can be found in modern day pop culture, ranging from TV shows to Marvel comics to a host of other modern fantasy books. But my favourite rendition of the tale is by the Roman poet Ovid. In Ovid's version, Arachne was the daughter of a shepherd who began weaving at a very early age, but there are versions where she was the daughter of Idmon of Colophon, a man who made a living from dyeing clothing the colour of purple, hence Arachne's skills and interest in weaving. She possessed such a talent when it came to weaving that her work became extremely famous and people would travel thousands of miles just to get a glimpse at her tapestries. As her reputation grew, so did her ego. Many would often tell her that her work could even rival the creation of a god, and eventually Arachne began to believe this was true. The goddess Athena took great offence that Arachne refused to acknowledge that her skill came from the goddess as a gift, so Athena disguised herself as an elderly woman and appeared to Arachne. "You can never compare yourself to the gods. Plead forgiveness and Athena may spare your soul." Arachne, refusing to heed the elderly woman's advice, replied, "Ha, I only speak truth, and if Athena thinks otherwise, then let her come down and challenge me herself." And so Athena removed her disguise and appeared to Arachne in all her glory, accepting the challenge. The contest began, and both women weaved away furiously. Athena's weaving represented a contest between gods and mortals, ultimately ending in the mortals being punished for comparing themselves. Quite an ironic piece of foreshadowing right there. Arachne's work, however, differed greatly, showing how gods misled and abused mortals, depicting Zeus as seducing countless women. When Athena saw that Arachne's work not only insulted the gods and her father, but also was far more beautiful than her own work, she was furious, ripping Arachne's tapestry into pieces and beating the girl in the process. Arachne was now disgraced. No one would ever want to buy her work again, and no man would ever marry her, so she chose to hang herself. Athena, not wishing for the girl to die, said, "Live on, and yet hang, condemned one. The same condition is declared as punishment against your descendants to the last generation." The goddess took some of Hecate's herb and sprinkled it over Arachne. This herb would act as a poison, instantly causing Arachne's hair to fall out, along with her ears and her nose. She grew thick black hair all over her body, and she had 8 legs, and from her belly she had a single piece of thread. Athena had shrunk Arachne into what the ancient Greeks believed to be the first spider. The name Arachne is where many of the English words referring to spiders came from, including arachnid and arachnophobia. The details of the transformation do vary depending on the tale. Some believe that Arachne was literally turned into a spider, which she would continue to weave, but in the form of a web. Others believe that Arachne's lower body became that of a spider, and her upper body remained that of a human, creating a monster in a similar vein to Medusa. The story of Arachne is yet another warning of the fate that awaits those who dare to challenge the gods in ancient Greece. Ovid and many others believe that the lesson behind this story was that no matter how skilled you are, you should always know your place in society. Now this meaning may be slightly outdated, but we can still look at the story today as a warning of what happens when we allow the influence of others and our own ego to dictate our thoughts and behaviour. The story of Arachne is undoubtedly a tragic tale, and if you have any thoughts or different versions of the story that you'd like to share, then please do so in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Mythology and Fiction Explained.